Well, good morning, Wesley. We are so glad that you're joining us right now. And as we move into this time of stewardship, into this tending and tilling sermon series, we want to take some time to communicate with our volunteers and have them kind of explain their story to you. And so joining with me today is Mr. Larry Beaulieu. Larry, how are you today?
I'm well, Chase. Good to see you.
Wonderful. We're so glad to have Larry. Larry helps me out personally so much. Every time we've got a really unique series that we've got to do some video stuff for, Larry is my voice of power, my my amazing interviewer. He's got a little bit of experience with that. And so I thought today, rather than Larry doing the interview, we would interview Larry. So Larry, how long have you been here at Wesley?
My wife and I have been members of Wesley for 21 years now.
21 years. And how'd y'all come here to
Well,
Wesley?
we had, for years, coming to Beaumont in 1974, we had attended a Baptist church here in town. And over time, we decided that we wanted to find a new church home. And so we visited 2 or 3 churches, as most people do when they're in that situation in their life. And we made a couple of visits to Wesley, and it was just such a great experience because everybody was so welcoming, and it just instantly felt so friendly and welcoming, and we wanted to be a part of this church family. And so that's how we came to Wesley years ago.
We are glad to have you. You have been a wonderful resource to us. I would love to hear some stories, long or short, whatever you're comfortable with, on how the Lord has kind of nourished your life by being part of the Wesley community here.
Well, I would have to say that having been in church for years, some years in my life anyway, I was never heavily involved in the church. Attended and had a Sunday school class or 2, but I was never really felt immersed in the body of the church. And if you're at Wesley for any amount of time, that will happen to you. And it happened to me, and I was so excited to become a part at a very gradual rate of different areas of activities here at Wesley. And we have an amazing Sunday school class. The history of that class is that many members of the choir, with their schedule on Sunday mornings, needed an opportunity to meet and study the Bible and have fellowship. So a class was started called the Discovery Class, and my wife is in the choir, so therefore I was in that Sunday school class. And it was made up primarily of choir members who met at 9 o'clock and then could leave at about 10 when they needed to get ready for their worship at the service. And so it has grown, and it has really been, I think, somewhat unique in that we started with one teacher for a long time, and then that teacher went somewhere else, and so we decided that we would just pass around every Sunday the opportunities to lead the Bible study. And so there's a short discussion every quarter about what do we want to do next. And so, for example, everybody says, well, my favorite character in the Bible is so-and-so. And so they will bone up on that particular character and do a little study and research and then come and have a presentation to the whole class. And it generates a lot of really great discussion and a lot of really good learning.
Yeah, there's a lot of knowledge that comes from that because, when one person really is really into Job and wants to dive into everything about them, there's other people that are like, man, Job's story is so sad. I couldn't even touch that. But if someone really is passionate about that, you could really grow and develop in your knowledge of that.
And so we have really good people that have special areas of knowledge and expertise, and they share that, and everybody learns a great deal from it. That, and then I also went through the 90-day Bible study that we did earlier this year, and that was very, very helpful to me because, quite honestly, I'm not a great student of the Bible, so it helped me really get into a foundation.
Kind of condense it down and follow a schedule.
Right.
Yeah.
A little rigorous, but it was well worth it.
It was a lot. It was very useful, though.
And then at another point, I became an usher greeter and joined the team that does that. And that's, I guess, my primary regular involvement in the worship service here at 10:30 at Wesley is serving as an usher greeter. And it's fun because I get to meet a lot of people. And the older I get, I don't remember everybody's names quite as well as I should. But it's always nice to see.
So the name tags are very useful now as we get back into those. Yeah.
So the funny stories is Robert Besser was a new pastor, and he'd come up to me and say, "Now who is that? And who is that?" And I'd go, "I know I should know. I'll find out for you and get their name for you." But everybody comes to church with a sense of expectation. And you can see that in their faces when they come in. And so it's just a great way to get to kick your Sunday morning off.
Yeah, it's awesome. So as we move into this sermon series and we discuss kind of the growth within Wesley, where do you see God at work through Wesley?
Well, I think right now Wesley's at a really unique juncture, having gone through the disaffiliation and reaffiliation with Global Methodist. It's been difficult for a lot of people here at Wesley, and I think we've come through that very well. And I see now a real strengthening and consolidation of the membership and their involvement in where Wesley is sort of not reorganizing but rebuilding the spirit of this church and moving it forward and sharing it with the community. And as the motto says, know God and make God known. And I still think that is a main focus. But it's a great place to see how my sense is that it's really strengthening the Wesley body.
Yeah, it's doing a lot of amazing work. Being able to worship with new people every week is a wonderful thing. As a worship leader, when you look out, you see new faces, and you see new faces involved in worship. Oh, it is such a soul-filling moment that really that's one of the big pieces that fills my cup is seeing people worship is awesome.
We've had so many new faces come to Wesley in the past period of time, and it's exciting.
Yeah,
it really is.
I'm excited for growth, and with that growth there comes new opportunities, new avenues that we can go down and worship in, or new missions that we can be involved in. What do you look forward to in our ministry and in the growth of Wesley?
Well, I think with new people coming to join our congregation, they will have really great ideas, and they will share their spiritual life experiences with us that will freshen our approach and our coming together as a spiritual body.
Yeah, it's awesome. There's so many ministries out there that the previous church I served at, there was someone that came forward and said, do y'all do anything like any sort of handicap ministry? And I said, we do not. Mm-hmm. And she said, is there a reason why? And I said, we just don't have someone that was their passion. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, that is my passion. I would love to serve and to start this ministry. And so, yeah, as we increase members and as new people come in with new ideas, there's someone who has a passion for something that you or I never even thought of.
Exactly.
Like, could never even have imagined being a part of.
Exactly.
So, Larry, I'm going to put you down to really having to narrow it down as much as you can. When you see Wesley Church, when you envision Wesley Church bearing fruit, what one word comes to mind?
Well, I think that once you go past those words like growth and so forth, I think that we will see more people more closely aligned and cooperatively serving our Lord and helping our church fulfill all of its many missions beyond the simple one of make God known.
Yeah, it's growth is such a big piece of not only of a church body size, but in spirit, in worship, in growing in their own faith. Growth is such a big piece for this. Well, Larry, I want to thank you again so much for joining me today. It is always a pleasure to work with you, and it's almost as if you have experience with talking on camera. So it is
well, you're a great interviewer.
It's a wonderful asset to have. So, church, thank you again so much for joining us for this, and we will see you next week.